Jorge to enter the ring with some inscription in his scalp. The record: 53 wins, 6 losses, 4 draws. He's knocked out 35 opponents, as we mentioned. In those 63 fights, he has been knocked out only once.
As much as he looks like a bizarre Las Vegas lounge act of some kind, politically he's just correct.
Zedillo is the name of the candidate for the PRE party in the upcoming Mexican presidential election. Tail of the tape. And you'll see the age disparity between Oscar De La Hoya and Jorge Paez. De La Hoya 7 years younger, 5.5 inches taller. When they weighed in yesterday, Paez was a half-pound under the limit. They are equal in reach. Punch that numbers, Larry.
Take a look how active these fighters are and how accurate they are, and roughly they throw the same amount of punches and are very accurate. Paez is much the shorter. The interesting thing will be, as we look at the jab count that they've had in recent fights, is whether De La Hoya will rely more on his jab because of his tremendous height and reach advantage.
And rules of the bout with our unofficial ringside scorer, Harold Letterman.
Oscar De La Hoya and Jorge Paez will box tonight using the rules of the World Boxing Organization. There is no standing 8 count. The 3 knockdown rule is in effect. You can be saved by the bell in the last round only. Only the referee can stop the fight, and in case a cut is caused by an accidental headbutt, and that cut causes the fight to be stopped, we go to the scorecards after 3 rounds have been completed. Before that, it's a technical draw. Jim.
Thank you, Harold. Right now, let's go up the ring announcer Michael Bumper for the pre-fight introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to the Grand Garden here at the MGM Grand of Las Vegas, Nevada, where tonight Mr. Bob Arum's Top Rank Incorporated, in association with your undisputed, undefeated King of Beers, Budweiser, proud to be your bud, presents an evening of professional world championship boxing. All the bouts are sanctioned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission, Chairman Dr. Elias Ghanem, Commissioners Nat Caroselli, Luther Mack, Dr. James Nave, and Crispin Rivera. Executive Director Mark Ratner. Chief Physician Dr. Flip Omansky. Attending ringside physicians Dr. James Wishgame, Dr. William Berliner. Timekeeper James Cavan. Counting for the knockdown seconds, Mike Lasella. This first bout is sanctioned by the World Boxing Organization. President, former light heavyweight champion of the world, Jose Torres. Supervisor ringside, Mr. Ed Levine. The 3 judges scoring this bout on a 10-point must system are Chuck Giampa, Jerry Roth, and John Stewart. And when the bell rings, the man in charge of the action working in a world championship bout for the 99th time, referee Richard Steele. And now, ladies and gentlemen, man your battle stations. This is a battle of champions, 12 rounds of boxing for the vacant WBO Lightweight Championship of the World. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the blue trunks with white trim, weighing in at 135 pounds, undefeated with a record of 13-0, 12 KOs. This 1992 Olympic gold medal champion comes to us tonight from Los Angeles, California, East LA to be exact. Ladies and gentlemen, the current WBO Junior Lightweight Champion of the World, the Golden Boy, Oscar De La Hoya. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the red trunks with green and white trim, weighing in at 134.5 pounds. His professional record, 53 victories, 35 by KO, against 6 defeats with 4 draws. Ladies and gentlemen, from Mexicali, Mexico, he's the #1 ranked WBO contender, the former featherweight champion of the world, Jorge Marromero Paez.
All right, I've spoke to both fighters in the dressing room. I'm cautioning them again. Obey my commands at all times. Shake hands, good luck.
Jim, last weekend, a former Olympic gold medalist from Nigeria, Robert Wangala, died here in Las Vegas in the aftermath of a fight. It reminds us of how dangerous this game can be. And it also reminds us that sometimes, after such an event, officials can get very touchy and try to end fights very fast.
We'll keep an eye on the activities of referee Richard Steele as Jorge Paez begins the first round stalking Oscar De La Hoya. Now, George, Paez is an unconventional fighter. He may be open a lot of the time, but he's so off rhythm that you may not be able to find him when he's open.
That's right, but you can cut all of that off if you make him be the aggressor. You can do a lot of clowning things, backing up, but coming forward, you can only do one thing, lead with your head clowning.
For the moment, De La Hoya seems determined to allow Paez to be the aggressor. Will Paez take the bait? It appears he's going to be cautious, at least at the start. Support for Paez here. And indeed, that's part of the story, a battle for the hearts of Mexican fans, many of whom appreciate Paez's blood and guts background, his up-from-the-barrio Mexican upbringing, more than De La Hoya's glittering amateur career and Olympic gold medal.
The thing about a young fighter, they got to be careful. When you hit them, they always try and hit you back. If Paez happened to land a shot on Oscar, he should just forget it and go back to what he's done, bagging up, using the jab.
Oscar not allowing himself to get in danger here as he did in the first rounds of two of his three preceding fights. Takes a right hand to the head. Paez spent most of his career fighting at lower weights. There are few who believe he will have brought much punching power up here to 135.
Thus far, Oscar, not taking any steps forward. He's starting to get off a little bit. Do not come forward, forget it, until the rounds start to mature.
Paez landing a left inside. De La Hoya punching sparsely. Now sticking the jab, throwing a right hand. You can see how utterly conventional De La Hoya is in style compared to the wild, winging shot of Jorge Paez.
If he maintains his position, keep using the left jab. Even if you have to win every round with a left jab, it's possible. Forget about exchanging right now because you can't get that target. It's moving a little too much.
Some fans whistling as it's been an extremely cautious first round, particularly from De La Hoya. Another left-hand shot landed inside by Paez. De La Hoya lands a straight right, not a lot behind it. Now a right uppercut at the end of the round is De La Hoya's best punch at the stanza. And as we go to the corners, our interpreter is Hector Garcia.
Watch out for the left hook.
Be careful with the left hook.
And down and more angles.
Use more angles. Keep moving your waist. Use those hook punches up and down. Try to hide from this guy a little bit. He's scared. The man's scared.
Hey, David. Tell him don't walk straight to him. Use more angles and cut the ring down. Don't walk straight in.
Escape this guy.
Beautiful. Nice.
Jim, before this fight, I mentioned that I thought that De La Hoya had to start to modify his aggressive style, and we saw him doing that in the very first round. A little bit more defensive, wear the other fighter down, and then take him on later in the rounds. He's walked out into some big punches early in fights, and he's learned something from it.
De La Hoya sticking with the jab in round one. Oscar threw 51 punches, and 36 of them were jabs. Now a left hook seems to stagger Paez momentarily. De La Hoya follows with a flurry. Another left hook, and down goes Jorge Paez. 63 previous fights.
We just saw the image and the pendulum swing to the other side. He fought brilliantly because he had modified his style. He was cautious in the first round, and he seized the opportunity when he saw it.
49 seconds of round two. George, two spectacular left hooks.
The thing about it, he got them not within the exchanges of punches. He just picked his time, threw his punches. There weren't any exchanges. He did it properly.
So he showed a patience that he hasn't been able to show before.
Good defensive left jab to set all of that up. Great. Spectacular.
Short, beautiful left hands, and now he's smiling.
Well, it could not have gone better for those in the Oscar De La Hoya camp. And now the memories of those two knockdowns against De La Hoya in the first rounds of two of his last three fights begin to fade a little bit. This was just the kind of performance he needed to re-enhance his credibility. And no doubt many of those who are cheering now are the ones who were chanting Jorge, Jorge in the first round.
The great thing about it, he got a second round knockout by not being the aggressor. He was on the defense most of the fight. Then when the opportunity presented itself, he went for the finish. Missed a lot of shots, but he threw a lot of shots. Particularly good because when Paez fell, he fell on his neck. There you go.
Richard Steele was blocking your vision just a little bit as Oscar landed that finishing left hook. There's
that
one.
was the shot that hurt him. It wasn't the last one that got him. When you see a fighter fall on his neck as Paez did, he is hurt.
It was the first left hook that set up all of this, and then the second left hook there put the man down.
And he did it spectacular by using jabs, going back. Paez needed room to clown, and he just took away his own room by being the aggressor, thinking Oscar is afraid of him. There's that left hook.
He's got great technique on the left hook, doesn't he, George?
He stands square and he believes in his power. When a guy has power like that, all you got to do is believe in it.
All right, let's go up to ring announcer Michael Buffer for the official particulars on the second round De La Hoya knockout.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Richard Steele reaches the count of 10. The official time, 39 seconds of round number 2. The winner, winning his second world title, the new WBO lightweight champion of the world, the Golden Boy, Oscar De La Hoya.
Incidentally, if you're wondering why you haven't heard us talking about a title, we at HBO don't recognize the WBO, the World Boxing Organization, as a major sanctioning body. To us, it was another prize fight for Oscar De La Hoya, perhaps on the way to a major title.
I think Oscar De La Hoya is a major champion. The HBO title is sprinkling enough.
Final punch stat numbers, you can see that De La Hoya landed 20 of 66 in the 2 rounds, a 30% percentage, but that doesn't really tell the story. Paez only able to throw 26 punches. Oscar was the busier of the two, and working behind that jab, he both protected himself and set up the assault that brought the knockout. Let's go to Larry Merchant in the ring with Oscar De La Hoya.
All right, Oscar, congratulations. Tell us your thoughts coming into this fight in terms of how you wanted to modify your style, because you did seem to be more stable, a little bit more cautious in the first round.
Well, what I was trying to do is